Hello everyone. Wow, I'm at the tail end of my series review finale of the Avatar series of Avatar Legend of Korra, which I reviewed every single 4 seasons of that. And here's my last and final review of the Avatar season of Avatar Legend, that Avatar The Last Airbender, Book 3, Fire. And smartly enough, I took some notes, just like I did before Legend of Korra. So essentially, there's a lot of things that happen in the season. I'm just gonna kind of skim through here. You know, like, one of the biggest things about the season for me is that it gave, the second season, it very much gave a lot of history to the world. This one not gave a lot more history to the more relevant plot itself. You know, we got to see how the 100-year war started with the two Fire Lords came from the past. One of them was an Avatar, and the other one was like, you have the power, man. We gotta use it. And I'm so sorry, their names I completely right now draw a blank. I cannot remember for the life of me what their names were. Essentially, we gotta see how that happened. There's more background development for the villains, like such as Kavira and Zuko and some of their sidekick characters. One of them, Zuko, ends up having a marital type of relationship with. I thought that was quite interesting. I quite enjoyed that. We got to see more of their background dimension. At a certain point, it comes. Zuko sends this big, gnarly, big muscular man who has this weird third eye painted on his forehead, right here, and he's he uses that as a focusing lens to demote some kind of point of power, at least, like a laser beam, like you see a totally Star Trek. It's super weird. But he sends him after to essentially, I think at one point I heard him say to kill the Avatar, but never I hear them say to take care, or at least, okay, they said take care of the Avatar, which now that I realize is take care of him. He said, yeah, kill him. We thought that. Well, I was wrong about that, really. To take care of Aang, at least, and through that, stuff happens. At a certain point, I think it's mid-season, Aang gets really horrifically nervous and it goes a bit mental, a little freaking mental. He gets extremely nervous and just completely on his nerves about, facing the Fire Lord and taking it all down, and he's feeling the pressure and he's feeling so much anxiety and such like I said before, I get such an anxiety and such a static type of shock and a tremendous weight on the shoulders, and he feels this complete shock that's utterly within him, that how he kind of goes through this. And he goes a bit friggin' mental, for the record. You definitely see him, Aang and Zuko, Toph, Kavira's brother, they're just okay, he's really not doing well. He isn't sleeping, he's been eating. It's really, really weird, but I enjoyed that. I loved how he was always that really wide-eyed kid, but you got to see more of his I wouldn't say deprived, but you got to see more of his more primal shock, a bit more. You don't really see him in grief that often, and when you do, it always does feel just so tremendously powerful when he is in such a shock or grief, especially in the first season when you see him seeing the bodies of the last air nomad, of the skeletons of the air nomads, and he's such in a shock mode. He goes into the Avatar state. It gives that feeling once again. It's oh shit! You really does feel such a tremendous weight and a responsibility, and how he feels that more than ever before, especially taking on such an enormous threat as the Fire Nation and the Fire Lord, who I think we saw at the end of season 2. It's you were really building his character up. Well, I wouldn't say his character, but his sense of shock of what he looks like is, oh my gosh, what does he look like? And he just looks like a typical human, but he's so blunt, but he's such a psychopath. It's just this friggin' crazy man. that you want to see on how all that essentially goes down, really. And it's, you really do genuinely care for the ride of the characters that they're on, and how much do you feel like the villain has an upper hand or not, and it really plays a huge effect on it. At another point, Katara learns blood bending from this woman who apparently is also another who was taken from a Katara learns blood bending from this woman who was once a part of the Southern Water Tribe, just as she once was. And once she teaches her to do it, and Katara has to ultimately defend herself against her, which means she has to use blood bending against her, because that's what the element of water does, because it's water in your blood system or in your human bodies, and it's like, oh, you can control it once a full moon is out, kind of like with a Wolfman, that type of effect. I quite like that, and that was so fascinating. And once you see the blood bending happen, I think we got to see this happen in Legend of Korra as within the Northern Water Side tribes, and within Legend of Korra, is like, they said one of the villains during that season, that he was a bloodbender as well, and you get to see him control wolves with that, and that was genuinely chilling. And you get to hear the whimper of those wolves, like, at least you can go back to my review of Avatar Season 2, or Legend of Korra Season 2, and see that. But yeah, that bloodbending was probably the most scariest thing on the show. It's just chilling to watch, and it's literally like watching an exorcism. It's like seeing the complete and utter feeling of not being able to do anything. You only, like, almost no one can get out of it unless you, maybe if you are also a waterbender. I don't know if it completely applies, or at least if you're the Avatar, because if you're the Avatar, you're like, oh, alright, Avatar state. But yes. I think that was really well done. I thought it was really well realized. Also, some great other points was, Zuko, he essentially leaves the Fire Nation after he confronts his sister and his father. Like, he leaves the Fire Nation for good, and he kind of turns back on them, and he focuses right back. And he's like, you know what? He realizes after he's drawn his own path, he's like, you know what? I want to take you down, but I can't do that alone. And Zuko's like, I can't believe I'm saying that, but I have to join Avatar. I have to join Aang in this group. And it's a really shocking moment. Essentially. And he feels like the treachery or the deceitment that he felt away from of General Iroh, especially Zuko and Iroh's relationship in that regard, is just really compelling, at least. And essentially, along the way, Aang and his teammates, they kind of find this, I think it's a western air temple. I think there was an eastern air temple, and they're like, we get it released, which is like a cliffside, and all the buildings are like upside down, and it's almost like I don't know how to describe it. It's like, imagine the city that's flipped upside down, and it's a really cool design. I love the way that area looked. That was so cool. And I could definitely see how they would use it to such a degree of, at least how an airbender would, at least, of it being like very close to just air itself. Like, it's essentially underneath a part of a cliff face with upside down cities. I thought that was really well done, in my opinion. And essentially, Zuko goes there, sees Aang and all the others, and they're like, oh, really defensive. He's like, what's going on? And Zuko's just like, it's like, I know you guys need an airbender, a fire teacher to take down. He's like, he's essentially like, I know you need to master water bending. No, water bending. He says something. He's like, I know you guys. Well, Aang needs a firebender teacher. I'm very good at it. Clearly, we could reason, and they're like completely hostile to him. They're like, no, screw off. We don't trust you at all. our relationship, our relationship, our relationship with you is just screwed, it's buggered up. It's like, you've done too much bad to us, we can't get. And Kavira especially has the hardest time letting it happen. Like, they do essentially let Zuko kind of prove his worth, but Kavira, she confronts Zuko in his room that they give him, and then she's like, any moment you step out of line, and I will take care of you myself. Any attempt you have on Aang, anything like that, I will take you down myself. I have no problem with that. I will end you. And it's just like I understand, like, it's like, you know, she's trying to protect Aang. You know, she knows how meaningful he is, but it's like, it's so out of character, at least. I won't say it's out of character, but it feels like this typical older sibling motherly feel that Kavira has very typically had through her character, which is a great character trait in my opinion. I think she is very much a mother figure to Aang. I think the emotional comfort and the warmth and the kindness of her really was really shown there. It's like, anything to do, you do to Aang, you'll have me to answer to. It's like that real feeling of authority and responsibility. And Zuko's just like, alright, I just want to teach him firebending and take down my father. Yeah. And essentially, you know, there's an episode that's dedicated to ripping off Footloose, which is a really stupid episode, but it's fun, it's cute, it's charming. Oh yeah, there's another really pivotal episode where Zuko, he's like, alright, he says, like how I said before with his, you know, like how Kavira is like very, very, like, she can't trust Zuko. She's like, Zuko's like, alright, I'll prove my worth to you. She's like, what? What is it? What is it? And he's like, I know her. I can track down the man, because it's like, you know, their mother, they explained season before, you know, like, their mother was dead. She was killed by the Fire Nation. Zuko's like, I know where we can find these people. I know who they are. I know some of the soldiers, at least. And he kind of calls, at least goes along with her, at least, to find the man who killed your mom and bring justice and bring something that could end your suffering. And she's like, she agrees to go with him. And it's like, it's shocking how close she gets to actually killing him. And you're like, whoa, 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 whoa. Vaz is never the answer. And showing, it's not really showing, you know, it's like, taking revenge on someone is one thing. But don't kill them. It's like, it's not simply saying, you know, don't kill them, essentially, of course. But it's like, you know, sometimes you need to go so close to the, it's like sometimes if you want to destroy evil itself, it's like classic feeling of, you know, if you're gonna destroy evil, you're gonna get as close to evil as you can get. I look it in the face and say, I can end you. I can do it if I wanted, and yet I choose to let you live, which further explains something else in the future of this season. And I think that was a really great point. It showed, it at least proved Zuko's worth to Kavira. And I thought that was a great dynamic between them. And there's some other episodes with, Korra. And then Kavira's older brother and he and some other characters and Zuko, they go to this jail island try to pick out Katara's dad. From there, essentially there's a great little plot on there. At least Jesus Christ, there's a lot to talk about in this last season. There's a shitload going down. I'm sorry for my language, but there's a serious ton. And you know, Aang goes missing for a little bit, like 2 or 3 episodes, and he realizes that due to some meditation, and he has to talk to a lion turtle, to one of those big lion turtle things that you got to see in Legend of Korra, and he talks to some of the previous avatars that came before him. It's like, they're like, we don't know. We've all been forced to going to such a certain point that we felt very comfortable doing. And because Aang is a pacifist at heart and he's a monk, he knows that pacifism is the ultimate way within his own philosophies, and how it comes from the traditions, essentially. It's like he comes to the realization that the only thing he can do is just to kill him. Is to kill the Fire Lord. And essentially, you know, he goes back and reunites with his friends, and you know, they could at least tack a certain day. I forgot what it was called. I think it's a Red Moon Day at least. There's a lot to goddamn to remember for the season. And yeah, there's a lot to talk about. There's so many. And you know, like, there's this epic like the last 2 episodes are very much just like with Legend of Korra. They're just huge epic battles within themselves, and I love those episodes. They give such a finality and such a climactic feel to it. And a lot of stuff happens in that. And, you know, like Zuko Zuko finds his sister Azula again, who is such a great character. I think Azula, in my opinion, is probably the best Avatar villain, in my opinion. Yeah. And, you know, they have a battle, and then, like, Kuvira. I tapped it up for a moment. I'm sorry for this. Airbender. Katara and Sokka. Fuck, I said the wrong character's name. I'm sorry. It's Katara and Sokka's father. They go looking for it. I do apologize for that. But, like, you know, Zuko and Katara kind of... It's actually Katara herself who takes down Azula. And she just goes mental. And she's like... Azula, she's tortured by the fact of what her mother ultimately thought she would become, which also ultimately was becoming this really ice-cold woman, evil, mean, cold, like, woman, and then she just breaks. She just goes absolutely mental, and she just has a complete breakdown, which is, like, almost sad to watch, because she's almost a perfect character, except for that little trait. She's very calm, tenacious, clever, and very, very detached. But it's like to see her fall like that so fast, it had such a powerful... It really had a powerful moment for me to be like, shit, like, oh my god, you really can feel that moment when she does break, and just breaks in front of Katara, and Zuko, and you just feel like that shock, like, oh my god, like, the moment. And, you know, there's this brilliant final fight between Aang and her father. I mean, like, big powers happening, of course. And then it's like, what's the point? He kind of hints, like, you know, Aang essentially goes into the Avatar state. And he essentially tags the father within these, like, Earth, like, kingdom areas. It's a brilliant action scene. I love that. It's a brilliant action scene, in my opinion. I should start fiddling with my hair. Yeah. But, you know, it's like Aang kind of realizes, you know, no, I don't have to kill him. I have the ability to take his powers away for good. And it's like, you finally got to see that happen. And it's just such a feeling of, it's over, it's all over. His powers are gone. He can cause no harm to us aside from maybe physical injury. But because surprisingly, for a general, for a warlord, he's pretty freaking fit. But aside from that, it's really well done. The ending is superb. I think it's definitely a better ending than Legend of Korra, which I think is still a good ending. Legend of Korra does have a good ending, but I think the way I don't know what it is. It kind of left me with like too many questions, and I'm like, I gotta have something like that. But oh well. And then there's like in the end, the Unite Peace, they create the United Nations within the world with all like the four people. My brain is just losing it. My brain is now just fading away at this point. I'm sorry. I'm actually really tired. This is like the end of the day for me. It's almost 9 o'clock at night. I'm really tired. But yeah, essentially they create peace, and it's like the four nations are kind of like in a good balance now. All is good, and for the last, I'd say for the last season at this point, it's like there's an essence of Aang just wanting to be with Tara. Like, he really has some very powerful emotions for her, and he there's a hint of like maybe she kind of feels like a younger brother type of way. But Aang has always had a very powerful connection to her, and he really just loves her so much. And they finally do get the kiss, which is beautiful because they really are a perfect couple. I mean, while we don't see much of them being together like an actual couple, we get to see them in relevance to each other and how they would balance each other out. She's very calm and determined, and she's very, very motherly and very, very stern, but he's very fun, open, and very, very dynamic, and he's just a fun character. But yeah, but not, as a whole, it's still just as good as the first 3 seasons, if not even better, with brilliant acting and voice acting. The voice actors, seriously great in my opinion. They're absolutely great. One of the big stars for me is Dante Basco voicing the character of Zuko. In my opinion, he's freaking amazing. He really still just completely impresses the hell out of me, in my opinion. I think he's an absolutely great voice actor, and he knows such a very raw passion to it. But nevertheless, I don't want to drag this out too much. But in the end, yes, after The Last Airbender Season 3, Fire is friggin' amazing. And everyone, that is my series review of Avatar series comes to an end. However, I have 2 more videos I'm announcing right now. My first one, that will probably be up on probably Thursday, I will say. Will probably be up on this Thursday, is my top 10 favorite characters from Avatar, The Last Airbender, and Legend of Korra each. And then next week, which is probably good. And then early next week, I'll have another video for you guys then. Well, actually, no. I don't know until then, but maybe a week or two. Oh, maybe, I would say about a week or two at least, for me to really digest it and think about it good. Maybe it'll take about a week and a half to think about it, but I will probably make a video then, like a week or two down the road, of me making a video on what series do I prefer, Avatar, The Last Airbender, or Legend of Korra. Now, I've said in the past, I clearly stated that I like The Last Airbender a bit more, but I think that deserves a video within its own right, in my opinion. But yes, nevertheless, I have those 2 videos to announce, and I'm very excited for when I will make those videos. And until then, everyone, thank you very, very much, and I'll see you in the future for more videos as always. One last final thing is that you won't see a movie review from me for quite a bit. I'm going away this upcoming weekend, so you won't see a movie review from me for a good bit. Until then, everyone, thank you very much, and yes, till then, thank you very much, and I'll see you in the future. Till then, everyone, thank you for watching, and have a great day. Goodbye.